You're tuned to Impact Exposure. I am your host, Emily Fox, and on the phone I have Saturday Night Live comedian and host of Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, which airs at 12:30 a.m. Eastern, weeknights on NBC. Welcome to the show, Jimmy Fallon.
Hey, Emily, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
So
How's it going over there?
It's great here in East Lansing. It's a little snowy, but that's all right.
Is it snowing over there?
It is.
See, over here it's borderline. It wants to be warm, and then today just ice cold. Everyone's wearing Christmas sweaters. Everyone's dressed in black coats, Russian hats. It's crazy.
You know, last time I went to New York, I saw someone, the first person ever to wear ski goggles just walking on the streets because it was so snowy out there.
That's pretty rad. That's pretty cool.
Well, anyways, we've been hearing a lot about, the battle between Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien and NBC, and if Leno were to move to a half-an-hour program, that would begin at 11:35. O'Brien's Tonight Show would be at 12:05. That would push his show back. But O'Brien refused to change the slots, and one of the reasons he said was because it wouldn't be fair to you and your late-night show, which would then start at 1 a.m. But with all of that in mind, some argue that some time slots just don't matter with internet and DVRs. So do you think that your time slot matters for your late night show?
Good question. I don't think so, really. I think time slots are kind of going away. I mean, I watch Jersey Shore. I don't know what time Jersey Shore is on.
Right.
But I see it. Well, I TiVo and I TiVo everything. So for me, it doesn't really matter. I think people watch our show if they're awake, and if they want to watch it the next day, they can go on the internet and watch it on our website.
And I was also noticing on your website you do a lot with, let's say even before your show aired in March, you did a lot of video blogs. And also on your website there's a lot of videos and exclusives and a blog on your website as well. And is that kind of your way of competing with things like Hulu?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Hulu's, I think NBC has some contract with Hulu, so I think we're not allowed to put any of our stuff on YouTube, which is a bummer because, Hulu is not international, and we have a lot of people around the world that watch our show and want to see our clips, but it's just an NBC thing. So, but we're trying to change all that. We're kind of like the new kids coming in. We're not even here a year yet, and I remember getting in arguments with NBC.com saying we got to have our own website. We have to have latenightwithjimmyfallon.com. They're like, no, it has to be NBC.com, and you have to go there and then link to your site. I'm like, just do it. I mean, it's just so much easier so people can remember. It's just latenightwithjimmyfallon.com, and they're like, no, it has to be. I was like, I'm not going to bend on this one. We have to fight for this. And so now everyone has their own website on NBC. Like Kathy Lee Gifford has her own website.
Well,
but I mean, I remember at the time it was a big deal. It was like, why are you making this so hard? It's just crazy. But we treat that just as serious as we treat our show. We have 4 full-time bloggers working on that, and honestly, without the internet, we wouldn't be as successful as we are.
Well, I just noticed how much technology has influenced television, especially in the past few years. But I also noticed how, you've heard so much about the Jay Leno show, Conan O'Brien, and your show, and how they kind of have a similar format where there's kind of a monologue, and then there's interviews, and sometimes a band that plays, and that seems kind of a traditional format. But at the same time, I read an article in Time magazine earlier this year saying, let's say if Jay Leno's show that started back up were to be successful, that would change television in the fact that shows that you guys do are fairly cheap to produce in comparison to, let's say, a cable drama, where you guys doing your shows 5 nights a week is pretty much the equivalent, from my understanding, in cost to one television drama. So with that in mind, and I'm also, that reminds me of MTV and how it's so much about reality television and getting so far away from the music. You're just talking about Jersey Shore and things like that. But where do you think television is going with, kind of, it seems like networks are trying to go kind of a cheaper route towards things. In your mind, so where do you think television is going?
Yeah, I mean, reality shows are just a hit now. I mean, especially if you do it right, because it's just cheap to make. These aren't professional actors. They're not in unions. They're just, people off the street that want to be famous, So you watch Amazing Race or, Big Brother or, Survivor, and it's cheaper to hire these people. But it's rare that the show is good. I mean, those shows I just mentioned are good, I think. Like Survivor, Amazing Race is good. Jersey Shore is interesting, I think, because I don't act like those people. It's almost like watching, it's a glimpse into someone else's life, and they're, in their habitat, like going to clubs and stuff. It's not me, so that's why that's interesting to me. I like that show. It's like, so I think it's just, if the show's good, it will last. I think if the drama's good, it will last. I mean, 24 is good, so that will last. Lost is good. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more of, it's cheaper, but if it's not good, no one's going to watch.
Right.
So I think TV is just going to go with, honestly, just keep throwing stuff out until people enjoy it, and they go, yeah, I like that.
So some say that you're on deck for the Tonight Show slot. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't want anything. I'm happy where I am. I don't want to move. I'm at 12:30 at night. It's great here. We're having a good time. It's no pressure. It's just fun. It's like the last thing you watch before you go to sleep. If you want to see something funny, you watch our show. We're so happy where we are.
So with all the work you've done, on SNL, in movies, and now on late night with your show, Jimmy Fallon, what's your favorite thing you've ever done?
I mean, so many different things. I mean, the movies and stuff is fun because I met my wife on the movie, and that was a pretty cool thing. But it all changes. I think the older you get. Right now, I like late night. It's my focus, and I'm proud of the stuff we're doing. We did a spoof of Neil Young singing. I did an impersonation of Neil Young singing "Pants on the Ground," and he was just he was doing rehearsals for Conan O'Brien's last show, and somebody called me and said, "Dude, Neil Young is doing your version of "Pants on the Ground." He did it as in rehearsals. It's not aired, and no one has tape of it or anything. But Neil Young sang my version of him. And he was like, "Oh my God, it was so cool!" And I'm like, that's the type of stuff you go, I'm just so lucky to be where I am. It's just, that's the type of things you go, that's crazy. That he would hear it and know it and imitate me imitating him, and it's just cool. I don't know. So right now I'm loving late night. That's my favorite.
How long do you think you'll stick there for? And if let's say this ends, what would you like to do next?
See, if it all ends, I don't know what I'd do next. I'd probably just do stand-up and go around, play music, play comedy songs and stuff. But I think, the show's working, so I think we'll be here for a while, at least 5 years, if things go well. I mean, I'll stick around as long as people want me, I'm having fun.
And we have to start wrapping things up, but is there anything else that you'd like to add to our listening audience?
Well, I'd love to, get feedback if you. I know it's kind of a pain in the neck to go on through NBC.com to just get a voice so you can comment on stuff, but I love people get involved with our website. Go on latenightwithjimmyfallon.com and leave comments. Tell us what you want to see, what you want to hear, what things you liked, what things you don't like. I mean, we're up for constructive criticism, and we really just want to make it like a fun club to be in.
And you guys will take those comments to heart and maybe change some things then?
Completely.
Excellent. Well,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Jimmy Fallon, for your time.
Great. What a fun interview. You're awesome.
All right. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you. Bye, Emily.
All right. Bye.